Hi friends, Cassie here from homemakingwithoutfear.com. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be working on these beautiful French doors. Working on giving these French doors some beautiful character and making them look a little bit more unique and making them look a little bit old but still really beautiful. I picked up these French doors on Facebook Marketplace and I was looking for things there, and French doors can be pretty expensive. These were, I think, around $300. They're in great working condition, and the glass is intact, and that's why I was willing to pay a little bit more than I normally would. And while they're really nice, I don't really love the orange color. I think it makes them look a little dated, and while I like old things, I don't necessarily like old modern things, if that makes sense. I like things that are a little more antique, that have some weathering or some character, and I like deep, rich colors. So what we're going to be doing today is gel staining over existing stain. Now this wood is stained and sealed, but it is possible to restain over stained wood. So we're going to be doing that today. The products I will be using today are No Pain Gel Stain in Colonial Black by Dixie Belle. This is a new company that I'm trying. I love gel stains in general, but I've never tried this particular brand. They are a small family-owned company, and they're also from the South, which has a big piece of my heart right now since my husband's from North Carolina originally. Now this is Colonial Black, and the reason I went with a darker color, I am wanting to go for a more walnut rich brown look in these finished doors, but when you're staining over an existing color, you're not necessarily going to get what's in the can. So I went with a darker color, knowing that I needed to cover this bright orange, and we'll see what we get. I will then be top coating this with a polyacrylic protective finish. I'll probably be doing 2 coats of this. Besides the stain and a top coat, you're going to be needing some sanding pads or sanding blocks. We want to lightly sand the top coat of these doors. We don't want to scratch the surface, we just want to buff it lightly. I recommend 120 to 220, something pretty fine, and then give it a really good cleaning so that the gel stain will adhere. Gel doesn't soak into the wood, it rides on top and gives us a beautiful rich color without soaking in. Gel stains are really easy to use because they're not drippy either, so I feel comfortable doing it with these doors standing up. We need some inexpensive paint brushes. Gel stain is oil-based, and so I'm going to be throwing these paint brushes away when I'm done. I'm going to be wearing gloves. I have a screwdriver for taking off hardware. I have a set of pliers for taking off hardware, masking tape just in case. I have baby wipes for cleanup. I have shop towels for cleanup. And then I have a 50-50 mix of denatured alcohol and water, and I will be giving the door a really good cleaning, a wipe down after I sand. It's important to get all of the oils and grit off of your door before you start. That way your gel stain product has a really good chance of giving a nice clean finish. That should be everything. I have an extra towel just in case. Let's get started. Okay, I have removed the door handles and I'm going to go ahead and leave the hinges. I would like to remove the window grid, but it was pinned in and I removed the pins, and somebody has also nailed it. So I'm not gonna be able to get that out. We'll just have to see how that goes. Also, do you guys know about these little magnetic trays? I think it's a mechanic thing, but my husband has everything. I tease him about having so many things, but he really is very handy to have around because he has everything I need. He's like his own Ace Hardware mechanic shop, hair care tire center. These little magnetic trays hold your screws and bolts so that they can't get away. That's pretty genius. I'll see if I can link these in the description below. Right. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and do some light sanding. Remember, our goal is just to buff the surface, not to scratch it necessarily, but we want the gel stain to be able to adhere well. So we're gonna go ahead and give this a light sanding. And again, I recommend a 120 to 220 grit sanding sponge. And I will link all of these supplies in the video description below. You will more than likely find as you're going along with this nicks and dings and scratches and imperfections in the original surface of the door, and that's okay. That's actually what I love about finding old furniture and repurposing it, is it has a story. So there's lots of little dings and nicks in these doors, but I think when we put the darker stain over it, I think those areas will really highlight and really be the most beautiful part. So I'm excited to see how this will turn out. I've got just the bottom part of this door left to finish sanding, and it's actually going really fast. I don't love the prep part of this. I just can't wait to sink my teeth into the project usually, but it is important. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue to give this a good sanding. Okay, you must forgive my sweaty natural glow. It's very hot here. So the next step in the process is to take my 50/50 denatured alcohol water mix, spray down the doors, and wipe off all that sanding residue. We want to get them nice and clean for the gel stain. I've just opened my gel stain, and you can see how thick it is. It's like pudding, which actually is really great to work with. It's a lot less messy, which I'm a very messy painter, so this is great for me. You still want to give it a stir, but the color is very even and doesn't settle out like a latex paint or stain would. So the color looks very black on here. We're gonna go ahead and give it a little test run on the corner of the door and see what color we end up with. Using an inexpensive brush to apply this, and then I'll be using a lint-free cloth, a little old tea towel, to then remove the excess stain once it has set for a few minutes, and then I'm sure I will apply 2 coats and maybe 3, but we'll go ahead and do a little test spot here and see what it looks like. Okay, I really like how this is looking. It's subtle, but it really is doing a great job of neutralizing that orange color. So you can see the difference in this little corner. The orange color versus this nice dark rich color. And see what I mean about these imperfections? It's gonna highlight those, but man, it's really gonna make those look beautiful. Okay, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and set you guys back on your tripod, and you can come along with me as I finish the fronts of both of these doors. I think that may be all I get done today. As moms, we try to capitalize a lot on nap times, and baby is napping, but she should be waking up anytime. So we'll see what we get done here on the front of these doors. See you in a minute.
Every singer needs a song. Every bell cries out to be around. Every dawn wanna wag its tail. Life ain't nothing but a pilgrim trail. Every message needs a dove.
So I've covered the whole front surface of this door with the gel stain. It was really fast. I'm gonna give it a few minutes to soak in and then rub it, buff it off. Really, it's almost like applying a lotion to the wood. You rub it in with the cloth. It's actually kind of fun. I did put some long dark marks over here that I'll kind of buff out. I just wanted to see if that would maybe give the door a little bit more interest. I've used hardly any product. It's really clean. It goes on really easily. So I'm gonna go ahead and get to buffing this out. All right, so here we are. I think this door is pretty much done. I only did 1 coat, and I'm really pretty happy with the look. It has some depth of color, and it just really gave a pretty rich finish. Of course, this will be satin clear coated once the stain has set and dried completely. But just look at the grain and the variation. I just really like that. So the stripies on this side, I don't know that I'd recommend that. It almost seemed to take the first layer off a little bit. So I would just do 1 full coat, let it set, wipe it, and then another full coat if I wanted to darken it. But I'm really happy. The hardest part is getting in along the window grid. So I'm just taking a towel and really just rubbing the stain in with my finger, with the towel and a finger like that. But overall, this took like 15 minutes, 20 minutes to get a good coat of stain on this door. You can see the difference between the two. So the real bright orangey, and then this just real rich color. And there's some interesting wavy graining coming out. Not sure what that is, but I kind of like it. It's pretty.
Needs a dove, and everything grows with a drop of love. We're all hanging on tooth and nail. It's It's a rocky road, this pilgrim trail. Pilgrim trail, pilgrim trail. Sometimes heaven, sometimes hell. Pilgrim trail, pilgrim trail. Let's meet up down the pilgrim trail. Every wind longs for a sail, like every campfire needs a tale. We're on this freight train going down the rail.
Okay, so it is difficult to get in behind this window grate. I can't remove it, as I had said before. So I'm doing my best just to stain all the pieces. My particular window has a grate that, these aren't individual window panes, if that makes sense. So what I've found is I have my rag that has gel stain on it, and I'm kind of sliding it behind, like so, and rubbing it along. And that should be getting some stain on the back side. I'm not sure what this is gonna look like, but it's getting some stain on the back side. In the end, I think it's still gonna be really beautiful. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish up here. It's almost done, and I'll give you a final look at the front of these doors. All right, so I finished the fronts of these doors and I am loving the color. I am really happy with this. It was very easy. As you can see, I wasn't super careful with not getting the stain on the windows. My plan is just to magic erase that off later. But you can see all the wonderful, beautiful grain. Remember what I said about the imperfections? They just look gorgeous. Hi, kitty kitty. Chippy. Thank you for joining me today. Kids are awake from their naps, so you know what that means. It's time to make dinner. And I'm really enjoying this Dixie Belle product. It's really easy to apply, and I am loving the results. So I can't wait to finish these doors and to show you the final vision I have for these doors. See ya. Hey, welcome back. It is day 2. I'm on to the next step of my project. I have not done the backside of my doors yet, but my doorknobs came in, and so I'm gonna go ahead and get those ready for my door. I have these back plates that I got off of Etsy. I have 4 of them, 1 for each side of the door. And I want to make this color match the back plate as best I can. So I have taped off the crystal part, and I'm gonna go ahead and spray paint these black. And then I'm gonna use my favorite product, which is called Rub and Buff. It is great for changing the color of metal. So I have a ebony and a antique gold. So I mixed the metallic gold and the ebony black, and we're gonna go ahead and rub and buff these on the knobs. There we are. All right, we're getting close to the end of the project. I have put almost 2 coats on the front and the back side of these French doors. to get the depth of color that I was looking for, and I'm really happy with how it's turned out. I'm gonna magic erase the extra stain off the window panes and give both sides a good white denatured alcohol half water mixture that I have, and prepare to put the final protective coating on both sides of the doors. I expect to do 2 coats of polyacrylic. This is a water-based protective finish, and I chose a satin sheen. The reason that I went with polyacrylic versus a regular polyurethane finish is polyacrylic, being water-based, is a lot easier to clean up. Also easier to apply and to use. It does go on milky in color, but it dries really fast, and so it's easy to get 2 coats. These doors aren't high traffic, and so I'm not concerned as much about wear and tear. Stain is an oil-based product, but as long as your gel stain is completely dry, and when I wipe the finish, it comes off clean, and that's what you're looking for with this gel stain. I would not recommend applying a water-based polyacrylic over the top of a gel stain that is not fully dry and cured.
Likely the light of mine will burn out in the mountains where I spend my rambling years. I paid my sins from the poor traveling days. Oh Lord, please, can't you hear my prayers? So I rode my body up the mountain to a place where I can sit my rocking chair. I rode my body up the mountain, and I'm never going back again, I swear. Most likely the son of mine will be found in the mountains where I'm born and raised.
Apply the polyacrylic. You really want to make sure that you are applying this in very thin, even coat. You don't want it to puddle or pool anywhere, and you also want to apply this with the grain of the wood. You'll notice it goes on milky in color.
Back again, I swear.
Because the polyacrylic is water cleanup, it's really easy to use, and it dries for second coat ready within 2 hours.
So I rode my body up the mountain to a place where I can sit in my rocking chair. I rode my buddy up the mountain, and I'm never going back again, I swear. Place where I can sit in my rocking chair. I rode my buddy up the mountain, and I'm never going back again, I swear.
And just like that, these French doors are done. I am in love with how they turned out. I hope I showed you how easy it is to gel stain over an existing wood finish, and also encourage you to try giving your old furniture new life. I cannot wait to put these French doors in my dining room of my new home and show you the finished result. You'll have to wait a couple months for that one.
From the mountains high to the wave crash coast, there's a way to find.
I would love for you to hang out on my channel, watch more videos. I have new videos coming out every week. Also, you can follow the links in the video description to get you to the blog post that has all the nitty-gritty details about how I did this project. Subscribe, like, and share this video with others. Love for this channel to continue to grow so I can continue to do this and share DIY home projects, home decor, recipe, mom life, and all things homemaking. It's so much fun to share with you all. Thank you so much for being here.